What's up, everybody? We're here with Miles Banks. Got some pretty big news coming out. Your future pro Fury heavyweight fighter right here. Why don't you tell us about your pro debut?
Not much to say, really. Just February 5th, I'll be making my pro debut. Starting to get ready for that now, so I'm pretty excited about that, obviously.
That's the date, February 5th. You know if it's going to be in the Escapade?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured. Yeah. I like that. We'll be there. So everybody make sure to be there. We'll get that information out there right off the bat, right. February 5th.
So what was the process? So you wanted to decide to go pro now?
I always wait to just kind of, I'm going off the word of my coaches. They have the experience. They kind of know what path I should be on. And I mean, I'm definitely not in any rush or anything like that. So it was a good solid year of work.
Right.
Since I made my amateur debut.
Yeah. And
everything I've been able to do and grow and accomplish and everything like that. Something a lot of people wanted me to go pro sooner. And I just didn't feel like it yet. You know? So I'm happy I was able to knock out this like full year of work, get a bunch of fights, get some experience, learn from everything I've been able to do. And, you know, now I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to move to the new year.
You had a really busy 2020. Like, yeah. I mean, 2022.
2022.
That's that shit, man. I'm still thinking we're in the pandemic right now. But your 2022, man, it was like you were just all over the place, just doing shit, just fucking like catching bodies left and right as well, though. Like, it was nonstop. So, like, was it just seeing your success this past year was also kind of like it made you realize, okay, the universe is lying. Like, I'm ready to go and take a step into into my career.
Man, I'm just. Whatever I'm doing, I just like to be active in what I'm doing. I learned a lot from experience about myself and what I need to improve on and everything in XYZ. And I just want to make sure I was taking my chances and not being timid in my approach. You know, with the steps I'm going to take in my career, I just want to fight. I want to stay active. I want to beat people. I want to beat whoever they want to give me, whoever they want me to fight. I'll fight them. Let's make this fun. Let's make this fun. But I've always been adamant about that. Like, I just want the opportunity to show what I can do, and I've been constantly given the opportunity to show what I can do. So I've been constantly taking that opportunity and capitalizing on it.
Right, yeah, because I could tell every time you step in there as well, though, like you're having like the time of your life when you go in there. Like it's just like, okay, see, that's Miles Banks right there. Just having as much because you're a really chill dude. Like you just lay back, but like when you're in there, it's a whole different person. Like I get to show my personality and who I really am, and all that. But yeah. So I guess so do you know anything at all about your opponent? Like what kind of fighter he is, or you're just kind of like, hey man, it's just another name I'm ready just to take out?
Yeah, I've been watching some film on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get the same respect and same healthy fear that everybody gets. You know, in my preparation on fight day, the man that shows up and myself will be ready to take on whoever's there, whether it's him or somebody else or whatever. He's gonna be like that. But I am preparing for him right now. I don't want to incite anything, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to incite anything, but I mean, you know what I'm coming for. I'm always coming to win. I'm coming to put on the show. I'm coming to finish. So I know he's coming to do the same thing.
Right.
He will absolutely try to impose his will on me and do what he can to me in the most fantastic way that he possibly can, and I'm gonna do it first.
Are you kind of excited to have like to where you don't really? You get to use every strike that's in your arsenal now. You get to show off everything that you train.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because that's what we talked about with Oliver Jimenez, though, is because you know he has a Muay Thai background. Is you know once he was going pro, I get to use knees and elbows now. You know, so
yeah, I remember he was pretty excited about that because with the amateurs they can't throw reinforced knees. That's what it was.
Reinforced knees to the head,
right?
Yeah.
No elbows to the head.
So it's like, okay, now you get to go ahead and be like, okay, I've been training this for a while. Now I get to show exactly what I've been doing.
Man, I've been doing Muay Thai for so long, bro. I'm actually, so that's when I got that last little Muay Thai fight. I went and took like on short notice. They said I was like an open rule set. I'm like, yeah, for a belt. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, that sounds good. I hook it up, I'll show up, and I'll do my thing. And I was just whipping his ass with knees and elbows, straight up knees to the head, elbows to the head. That's it. That was the story.
That's what Zach had tagged me in the fight. Well, I think when your teammates posted the full fight, and I told him I think I would have thrown up after the first knee. Like, there's no way, man. I was like, I would have been like, no, I can't do this shit.
He was like, He was it was an awkward fight.
Yeah.
It was for sure an awkward fight for a lot of reasons. But the opportunity, I mean, that's basically the best opportunity that I had to work with in that fight because of the way that he was showing up away from anything that I really wanted to do. So I had to
especially being so tall, you're able to just kind of pop that knee up as well.
Yeah, it's super simple. It was super simple.
So but I mean, but your Muay Thai seems very natural for you as well, though. I mean, the way that you go out there and you stand. Me and him talked about it. I think it was at your when you fought Brent Campbell in that fight, when y'all went to the 5th round, and I was like, it's crazy that he's hasn't been trained this whole life because the way he moves around, the way he flows is really, really smooth as well.
Man, it's like people say all the time, they use that Bruce Lee thing, like be like water,
right?
But nobody actually understands what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah,
nobody understands what they're talking about. If they did understand, they would be more like water, but they're not. Everybody's so stiff and rigid in their approach to everything.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, even how I live, like I'm pretty spontaneous how I do things. I don't use my calendar. I just kind of like everything's on a first come first serve basis. I remember it the day before. I remember the day before. I'm kind of going with the flow, and I fight as such too. Like my girl asked me a question of the day when we was watching the fights on Sunday, and she was watching. The guys come to. We were sitting right next to where they come down, and they're waiting to come up on deck. She's like, like, what do you feel? Like, what are you thinking about when you're there? And I'm like, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm like empty. I'm totally empty when I'm standing there and I'm ready to fight. I just probably remember like 1 or 2 things, like how I want to start the fight. But at that point, I've been training for every facet, every area that this fight can go to, every area that this fight can, that this could possibly turn into, and I'm just ready for it. So like, I'm just empty. Man, I get it.
No, you're good, man. Yeah. It's your time to just let it out. Just do what you gotta do, man. That's what, it's something we've noticed though as well with the everybody over at War, like Richard Copley and Jeremy Mahone, man. They have y'all ready for every aspect of the fight,
Yeah, for sure. You can win a fight. You can win a fight in spectacular fashion. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna love it. Everybody's gonna talk their shit. We're gonna be happy and excited. And then we come in the next day. We're gonna be capitalizing on every area of the fight that could have made that into a much easier performance for us, right? That could have made that a finish if it wasn't a finish, if it was a decision win, or what could have made us finish that fight in the first round instead of the third round. Just like all those little things, they hold us accountable and they hold themselves accountable as well too. So, man, I'm blessed to have those coaches. I'm blessed to have those coaches. I'm blessed to have come down here and fall into that gym. I mean, there's no shot to any other gym out here. You feel me? I checked out a lot of other gyms, but I ended up where I was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was home. It felt right.
It did feel right, and it feels great. Like just to be there every day. I love that place.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Like, we like when it comes to, we always talk about how like cool those guys seem. And everybody that we met from War is like super fucking down to earth too. Yeah. So we always appreciate that shit. When we get to have one of those guys on, it's like like they make it real easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Real personable, I guess is the right word to use. But yeah, like so, with you going into pro now, though, one of the things I did want to ask, and I was telling Zach about it, was just, are you excited now to be fighting against guys that take this as serious as you do? Because you don't fuck around. Like, you take this as like serious as you can.
Man, I wouldn't even like disrespect the people I've been fighting like that, because I feel like a lot of the dudes that I've been fighting are better than some of the pro roster. If I'm being quite honest, like I look at somebody I fought like Brent Campbell. Brent Campbell is like, he's better than some of these dudes that are fighting the pro roster there, like, honestly speaking. I don't know, man. I like I said, I kind of treat everybody. You know how GSP, every time they interview GSP before a fight, he's always like, "This is going to be the hardest fight of my career." Yeah. Like, he's always saying, "This is the hardest fight of my career," and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? You fought harder guys than this, but like, this is the fight that's happening right now.
Yeah. So
the fight that's happening right now is always the hardest fight in my mind. Like, this season, I don't care who it is. You could be not as good as the guy I fought. And I just finished in XYZ, whatever case, it'd be like that. But I'm gonna treat it like this is the hardest fight of my career, because anything could happen. It's a fight.
Right. Especially in weight class.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, anybody can land something. Even I've been hit a couple times, and you feel me, like kind of catch myself black out and catch myself like mid step.
Yeah.
So not in the fight. I mean, what's on the sparring, but actually, once in the fight,
Really?
Once in the fight, bro. I think it might have been like a hook or something like that. whatever. I don't remember. I don't know. I hardly remember getting hit when I fight, honestly.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the fight to see.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people are though. Like Frank Edgar talked about that openly. Like when he was at lightweight, he said he would get into fights and he was like, I wouldn't know anything you're talking about. Like I would have to go back and watch it and be like, okay, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah, man, how? Like how? I just like to. I don't know. I guess the adrenaline. I guess.
Mm.
But even after the fight, I mean, like sometimes, like sometimes like I feel like a couple, bruised spots on my face.
Right.
Most of the time, I don't feel anything. I don't know.
I think a lot of times there's a reason you don't feel anything.
Why?
You don't get hit a whole lot.
I don't get hit a whole lot, but I've been hit. Like I get hit, here and there. I like to get hit here and there. I don't like to turn this into a who can get hit the hardest most times and stand up kind of thing. If that's what people want to do, that's what people want to see. That's not what I want to be a part of.
Yeah, no.
By any means, I want to outskill you and show you that I can hit you more times without less times than you're going to hit me. Significantly less times than you're going to hit me as well, too, if possible.
No, that's what. They asked Curtis Blades one time, like, who's the hardest in the heavyweight division? Because he's fought everybody in the division, and he was like, I'd probably say Derek Lewis because when he hit me, next thing I know, I'm on a stretcher in the ambulance. I'm like, at least you're honest, man.
That was that uppercut, right,
dude? Yeah,
uppercut?
That was pretty freaking crazy.
It was brutal, man. He hit him again after he was out cold, and then they asked Derek Lewis about that. He was like, "That's Herb Bean's fault. He should have been there faster."
Yep.
I'm like, Jesus, man.
I feel him, bro. I don't know, man. These heavyweights, it's crazy. You see that? You see that shit right there?
Yep.
Who's that? Just yeah.
And Francis had just gotten rocked right then too. He had just got caught by Stipe, and Stipe ran in on him.
Knocked him out with a jab, though.
Did you see Ryan Spann knock out
with a fucking jab, bro?
Yeah.
He like pulled his pants up and then just threw a punch. I swear, I remember that shit. That shit was crazy. I was like, "What the hell, bro?"
That shit cracked me the fuck. He just
hit right into that. He walked right into that, bro.
Yeah,
That
that's what
insane.
we were talking about. Is like, because Dominic Reyes, he had been off for a whole year and shit because he had suffered 2 knockout losses in 1 year. He's like, I need to get my brain a rest. He played professional football as well, and he's like, yeah, my defense is gonna be like off the charts. It's gonna be so much better. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
I mean, I understand. You got to have confidence in yourself.
Oh, for sure, man.
Because whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
It's one of those hard sports.
Like, I feel like at a certain point, there's a different, or not a difference, but you need to find a balance of confidence and self-awareness. And if he hadn't, not only hadn't he been fighting, he hadn't been training very heavily for a year or more. I feel like it was more than a year. And if you haven't been in there that long, and then you're supposed to go in there and fight Ryan Spann, who I know a lot of people were counting him out, but that dude is ready for every fight. He just fought Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
He's ready to fight anybody. And it's like, you haven't fought in this long, and you've only been sparring and like getting ready for a fight for the last 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know. Like I understand being confident, but make sure you understand what's real.
It's a hard sport to talk about what you've been doing or to be very confident in, because it's just, you go out there, man, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Things change.
And that's
in there.
That's why I be chilling on my approach to how I just conduct myself throughout the process of let's lead up to these fights, man. I don't like to make things harder than they have to be. Like, when people start talking shit, like the guy, the whole last fight, I'm like, why we gotta talk shit for? We already got a date. We're gonna fight. We're big guys. Somebody's probably gonna get knocked out because I'm coming to knock you out, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna try to do the same thing to me.
Right.
So what's the big deal? Like, why we gotta sit here and talk shit? But I generally notice that heavyweights, like even like in the UFC or the higher levels, they're all pretty chill, like compared to everybody else. Because everybody's got to kind of sell fights, and everybody's like, okay, like we just kind of sell the fights. We just show up.
Yeah. Everybody will pay to see the giant dudes fight each other.
Exactly. We don't got to do nothing, no part of that. So I mean, I like that, man. Like I could be respectful, bro. I don't harbor no hatred towards nobody that I'm fighting or nothing. Like, I mean,
like,
I want you to be good.
If like 5 years from now, you and Brett Campbell fought again, I'm sure a lot of people will want to see that too.
Why?
Because y'all are both big dudes.
Natural.
I like Brett. I like Brett Campbell, but if he fought again, it wouldn't be that.
No,
it wouldn't.
So I mean, it's just like, I think it kind of showed also though. I'm not, no disrespect at all to Brett Campbell, but yeah, because whenever I saw him in the cage with you, I was like, oh shit, okay, you have a natural heavyweight you're going against, and so I feel like that's kind of a rare thing to see.
It's good, man. Like, everybody has their place. I'm the main character of my own story.
Yeah, no.
So
I think that's important though, just to like stay in your own lane, focus on your shit, focus on what your vision is, though. You know,
bro, it's easy, bro. It's so fucking easy. Like if I'm just focused on getting better as I possibly can in between each and every fight and every fight camp, and just not remaining complacent. Who I'm fighting hardly matters. Yeah. I'm not aiming to be just the best striker in the world or just the best grappler in the world. Like, I want to put everything together. I want to be able to feel comfortable. Like I said, like I watched Jon Jones. That's my inspiration for everything. Like from the fighting aspect of things. And the dude's a complete fighter. You never seen him look bad in a fight. For sure. Like maybe by his standards, sometimes you might see him, whatever case can be like that. But you never seen him like not pretty much dominate a fight for the most part.
That dude, what's up?
I know we talked about Jon Jones a little bit last time you were here. Yeah. But I like talking about Jon Jones because I freaking love Jon Jones. All this craziness right now. I want him to come back so bad, and I want him to do well. And I know I think we had talked about this specifically, but so now he's set to fight Francis.
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna go?
You know who I'm going with. I'm going with the guy that hasn't lost.
Yeah. Also, like the way that he looks now, though, man, like he looks like a fucking heavyweight. Before, when he finally bulked up a little, he's like 250, kind of had a belly and stuff, and then he's like, "Oh, give me another year, I'll be ready for it." I mean, and it's like, he looks fucking great.
Bro, the dude's a smart dude. He's a smart guy, man. Like, I mean, maybe not in life, he's making the best choices.
His fight IQ, the way he approaches. That's not my
business here nor there. Right. The dude, as far as his business goes, the motherfucker know how to handle business. He knows he has a high fight IQ. He knows how to take advantage of the weaknesses, but he also, if he feels like clashing, he'll just prepare to clash with you at the best thing that you do, and take you out of that. Like, I want him to win, bro. I want him to win and keep the belt till I get there. Like, that's what I want, bro. I would love that. I want him to win, keep the belt till I get there, and I can take it from him and he can retire.
Yeah. So say things just happen this way, and you're fighting Jon Jones for the UFC belt. What do you do? What's your game plan for someone like Jon Jones?
Shit, I don't know. Get that far ahead yet, bro. That's still.
There's no need to think that far ahead.
I mean, there's a need, bro. I got a game plan for everybody except for him. I just don't know. I just don't know yet. I don't know. Like, if there's a person in the world I don't think I can beat yet, it's him. But that's why I train every day. Yeah. I should feel like I can beat him. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm also real with myself.
Like that's the thing about Jon Jones, though, is like everybody that's fought against him, like they do good in the first round, but it's because Jones is making his reads and he's his defense is on point. It's like after that, it's like you can tell that the second that first round starts, it's no longer their fight.
Man, even then, like for me to be thinking about fighting Jon Jones right now, bro, I'm about to go from a 3-minute round to a 5-minute round. I've been watching like a lot of pro fights, especially when you're in the building. Little 5-minute rounds as long as hell, man. Yep. Like you could spend a round doing essentially nothing, especially when most of your fights are title fights. And you have 25 minutes. You can spend a round doing nothing, and you get in the feel, and like you said, like getting his reads and everything like that. It don't hurt to do so because the time goes by so damn slow, bro. It's almost like slower than a regular clock. Yeah. It seems like
especially when there was somebody trying to take your head off too. So I imagine it must be
a whole bunch of danger all the time, bro. Can you imagine being like chased by Jason Voorhees for 5 minutes?
You know who Joshua Fabio is?
No.
Diego Sanchez's old coach. He was his only coach.
Oh, the dude they said was crazy or whatever.
Yeah. He was like, you need to act like it's life or death in here, and he chased around his whole fucking team in the cage with a knife. Like legit, a fucking knife.
It wasn't even.
He half stabbed them.
I think he sliced one of them in the back, dude. Like no bullshit.
It wasn't even his team or anything. He went to a gym. They brought him in to like work with the guys. I guess not knowing who he is. Otherwise, why would he even be there?
Yeah.
And he pulled out a knife, and everybody's just like, "Oh, all right." And then he starts like crouching down, getting ready to go at people, and they all start running around, trying to jump in the cage to get away from him.
He got me fucked up with that shit.
Yeah, he fucking. It's okay to openly shit on that guy because like straight up, man, that dude's a fucking dickhead.
He's talking about Diego Sanchez and all the like brain trauma he has, and it's like, well, dude, you had him hang upside down and you were punching him in the head for training.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that.
what?
I remember that. That was one of the things that they were talking about.
He was trying to get his medical records from Hunter Campbell, one of the, I forgot what he's in the UFC, but it's a UFC higher up.
Hunter Campbell. Oh,
Yeah.
I think he's Hunter Biden, brother.
no. He might be fucking hanging out with Hunter Biden. But like,
Yeah, the way he.
that dude's on some other shit, man. I saw that dude smoking fucking crack in a bathroom, not Hunter Campbell, Hunter Biden. But yeah, that dude's
Bro, the dude smoking crack with like prostitutes.
You saw that shit?
It's like crazy, bro.
He's just chilling in the shower. They're lighting that shit up for him. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I saw a meme. There's like a guy with like a bunch of cameras, bro. It's like Hunter Biden every time they get the cocaine and hookers come out. Like, he starts recording some shit, bro.
I think they call that luxury.
Do you not know, like, bro, your dad's the president? You can't chill out for 4 years, bro.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just take it easy, man. We go on some island where everything, like phones aren't around or some shit. But that dude fucking, he's on some other shit. But Hunter Campbell's one of the higher ups. He fucking he has a law degree. He used to be a lawyer before he got into the UFC and all that. Involved in that. And Joshua Fabio was trying to get Diego Sanchez's medical records, and he was like, "Is there something wrong with Diego?" And then like he's on the phone with him, and he recorded this conversation. But Hunter Campbell's fucking smart, and he knows he's not going to say some shit to put himself like the UFC in any type of legal issues.
Yeah.
And so he's like, if you don't think he can fight, then maybe we should fight. Then I think like a week after that, the fight got pulled against he's supposed to fight Donald Cerrone for his last fight and shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. Joshua Fabio's on some other shit. He even talked Diego Sanchez into doing an OnlyFans with him. Yeah.
Was it is it like those weird kind of OnlyFans? I know OnlyFans kind of trying to change that thing up right now.
Yeah, it was a weird type of OnlyFans.
That sucks.
Yeah, the way that it's
Did
described.
he do it?
What's up? I don't know, bro. I didn't subscribe. I was like, I'm good.
I know somebody would have dropped it down. He did it though.
So I don't know what happened with it, but I mean, people were talking about it, like, and I was just like watching MMA on Point. If you ever want to, like, you ever watch MMA on Point? No. So they cover the sport really, really well. If you want to check their shit out, I like them a lot. We meet them hang out sometimes, and we just watch their old videos. But yeah, like they talked about that, and they wouldn't describe what was going on in that shit. I was like, it's a good thing. Let's just act like Diego Sanchez is still a fucking legend.
Let's just act.
It's like I don't want to ruin my image of this man.
Let's act like it.
We're coming up with a segue into a different topic. Just kind of a thought with pro fights and Fury, the way that you fight, just the way that the kind of presence that you bring. How many pro fights do you think you're going to have with Fury?
I mean, there's many. I don't have like a yay or nay about it. I like fighting for Fury, man. They take good care of me. They're good people in my book. I like the organization. I like being able to fight. Obviously, I like being able to fight at home. I know some people have like a problem with fighting away. I don't understand what the problem with that is. It really doesn't matter to me where I fight at, but to be able to wake up in my own bed and go down the block and go fight, I appreciate that. And to be able to do it for Fury, it's a top organization, to get me where I need to go to.
Yeah,
I don't see any issue with that. That don't mean I wouldn't go fight for other organizations if the opportunity arose. I definitely want to travel and do some things. Maybe if I can get a fight somewhere in New York, I wouldn't mind taking a pro fight in New York. So my people's back home can come watch me fight finally.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Fucking so like I know that you focus on just what's in front of you at the moment, not really what's gonna you do look at the big picture, but you're like, I'm just focused on my short term goals to get, so just take it day by day kind of stuff. Is that kind of spot on?
Yeah, because like when I start getting wrapped up in like the longer, like what's further away from me, it makes it hard for me to appreciate what I'm getting done in the short term, which in turn just makes me frustrated as fuck. Like no matter how much I'm getting done, it'll just I always feel like I'm not doing enough. So I do need to like kind of, I noticed that it helps me to have those little shorter goals and those little intermittent goals that like, I'm knocking those out as well too. So I can have something to be like, okay, I am making progress. I'm not just kind of walking in place because I haven't gotten to this goal that I know it's going to take me a couple of years to get to. Essentially, I had to split it up between my amateur career, what I wasn't doing my amateur career, now moving into my pro career. And I know it may not all happen this year, but I know, I have my goals. I have my things I want to develop and still get better at. There's X amount of fights that I want to have and X amount of expectations I have for myself. I just want to make sure I just keep up my momentum, basically, though. That's really what's going on.
Right.
Train, get better. That's everything essentially just involves me getting better every day as a person and as a fighter. So
yeah, John Jones talked about that on the Joe Rogan podcast. He said that he what really helped him really hone in like himself as a mixed martial artist is he meditated a lot and he would visualize just kind of what his goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, and he was like, that's really what helped me focus on making myself who I am.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. But the reason why I asked though is so I with when it comes down, you're fighting Fury now, but if the opportunity ever arose, would you ever be interested in like fighting like one championship or PFL or Bellator, or is like UFC kind of like the main goal if and when you get to that point in your career?
Pretty open to the best with what would be the best opportunity for myself at the time. Obviously I want to fight, like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. So I'll have to fight the best, and it's my assumption that the best are in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
One has good guys. Bellator has good guys as well too. I mean, man, I don't know. I'm working on being worthy right now. I guess is where I'm going with it. I can't say like, hey, I wouldn't go fight for one because I mean I would. I can't say I wouldn't go fight for Bellator because I would if that's the opportunity that arose and the situation was right and I felt comfortable with doing that, and I would absolutely do it. It's not. And eventually make my way to where I need to make it to. I don't see no problem. I don't see no problem with that. I'm gonna excel wherever I go. That's just what I believe. So, however, however, it's weird though.
Yeah, no, it makes sense though. Just to focus on what's in front of you at the moment, and I think that's important. Because like you said, I feel like it's a lot of people as they get frustrated when it's not the result that they wanted at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So like me and Zach were talking about like guys because they have the heavyweight division in Fury. The one guy that we were looking forward, I was like, man, that'd be a good fight. It was you and Austin Lane.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, they're really built like similar too, both natural heavyweights. I was like, that would be a good one. I didn't know he ended up getting signed to the UFC like a couple months ago.
I actually watched the fight. I wanted to see what was gonna happen because I have been watching them for a while, man. I mean, like for some reason, you just know the heavyweight circuit is not that big. Period. So when I see like. Even when I was an amateur, or even before I had my first amateur fight, my first amateur MMA fight, I would still be looking at dudes, and I would just know, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm across this guy. Eventually, you feel me?
Austin Lane's one of those guys.
At some point, I mean, yeah, he's good. I want to see what he does in the UFC.
Yeah, he's definitely improved a lot as well, though. Whenever he fought on the Contender Series, when he fought Greg Hardy.
I don't remember much about that fight with him and Greg Hardy because I honestly wasn't interested. And at the time, 4 years ago, I was still super young in what I was doing in the sport. I hadn't even been training MMA yet,
right?
Essentially, so I mean, like I wasn't. I was watching it, but I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in other things that were going on. I watched it this time around. It was cool. He doesn't seem like He doesn't seem like an unbeatable person,
right?
At all. Like I'm not. Whenever I get to these people, I'm absolutely sure I'll be ready for the challenge, and
yeah,
I'll live up to that as the most respectful way that I can honestly say. Any part of any of that, I don't care to discourage nobody because people are good. It's a dangerous sport that we do here, but like I said, I'm coming to win, and it's not like I'm picking fights that I know I'm gonna win. I know I'm gonna win.
Yeah,
I just know I'm gonna win. I have to.
Yeah,
I have to. I don't have a choice. It's not optional to me. It's not optional to do everything I have to do to achieve victory and simple maths,
It's a good mindset.
Simple maths. There's nothing that should stop me. I have gifts and I have skills, that God have given me. I have a hard work ethic. I have an excellent team around me with excellent training partners that push me every day and beat the shit out of me sometimes, you feel me? Like, I have coaches that I fucking love and, they make me better. And Adam's a pain in the ass, but, man, we have a great relationship. And Jeremy, me and him have a whole totally different relationship. He's not a pain in the ass, but he's always there. He's always there for me as well, too. So, it's just like simple math. It's just simple math to me. Like I'm in the right situation. If I feel like I needed to be somewhere else, or if I wasn't in the right situation, then I would alter that however it needed to happen. But man, we have a winning formula over there at War. Like you see, we're a whole bunch of winners. We got like all of Fury's the amateur champions right now. It's like 4 or 5 of us right now. So like. Trusting that. I trust in that process. I'm totally bought in. I totally am in love with every part of the process and everything that I'm doing. There's not really a second guess to it. It's just head down, head forward.
Right.
I know they're gonna have me develop in the right areas I need to develop in, striking, grappling, XYZ. I'm gonna fight whoever's turn it is, and they're not gonna beat me.
You think you'll be with War the whole way through?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see myself doing anything different.
That's good.
You know, I moved. You know, I like a lot of people that they're may not be from here or whatever. I mean, they may be from here or whatever, so they may want to leave. You want to leave home. This is my new home. I just moved here, so I'm settled here. I don't have an idea of leaving to go anywhere else. I can't even think of anywhere else I would want to go. And as far as Houston goes, I mean, War is it.
Yeah,
hands down. We're it.
It's on like it's hard to say that War's on the come up because I feel like they're already there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's becoming they're becoming probably the most, like you said, like when it comes to the amateurs, like I mean these War cards, these Fury cards are packed with just war fighters. You know.
And even our pro fighters, though. I mean, these dudes are coming out. We have pro fighters that have fought, several pro fighters that have fought 4 or 5 times this year. Yeah. And have won all or a majority of those fights. You know, maybe won all and lost and dropped one or whatever case. It'd be like that by decision. Always exciting fights. Always fights that you want to see fight. Thiago, Derek, Murphy. We got Trevin in the UFC. We got bro, we have fighters we have fighters that people aren't going to beat, and people may not want to give us our respect. Yeah, but that's totally fine. We're earning it. We're 100% earning it by winning fights. That's all it takes. We don't need no special favors, handouts. We're gonna show up. We're gonna do our job, and that's why I admire the people that I train with every day, and that's why I just like being there, man. I like being around the kind of people. We all one track minded in a sense. Like, what we gonna do? Take care of our families. Take care of our business on the mats and in the ring, in the cage. Yeah. So.
You said Tiago? Was that one of the names you had said?
Yeah, Santiago. Scorpion King.
Oh, Santiago. Okay. There's there's a guy, I'm blanking on his name. I think he might have been at War. He's I can't remember if he's French. Well, he's almost 7 feet tall.
I think you were there for his fight. I remember that. I think he's from New York as well. I think I can't remember his name either.
Almost.
Oh, he's 7 feet tall. Okay, I was talking about the wrong guy. So I'm talking about somebody completely different.
There's somebody who has started in one of the gyms around Houston. I cannot remember which one. I can't remember his name. I think he's French or something. Oh man, but he's huge, and I just remember being I feel like that's maybe he's not fighting with Fury. Maybe it's with someone else then.
No, I mean not that I know
of. If I can remember who it was and track down who it was, everything, I'll send you the stuff because.
No, not that I know of though.
Because I remember seeing it, and I remember looking into him and seeing that he was going to be in Texas. He moved here, he started working here. I can't remember what his name was, but so this is a topic that we've talked about a lot with a lot of different fighters. Are there a lot of heavyweights with War?
Not really, actually. I'm probably pretty much the only heavyweight that we have right now.
So
James was a heavyweight.
He moved down.
Yeah, he's at 205 now. And a couple other people. At 205, really. So I mean, not really though. Primarily, it's me and Zach that train a lot together.
There's you don't have to worry about it as much, but I know when we had Tonio and Hayden on, we had asked them about it. When you're in the same weight class as your training partners, at some point, and you say you're both really good, at some point you're probably gonna have to fight. Or if you don't have to fight, but it's gonna get to a point where that's gonna happen. You look at DC and Kane, Donald Cerrone, Melvin Gillard,
Aljamain and Merab won't. Yeah,
Aljamain and Merab, they've already said officially they won't fight each other. Lyoto Machida and Anderson Silva, they wouldn't fight each other, so they have to switch weight classes. What do you think about that? People who won't fight their teammates to the point where it's you're both in title contention or one is already the champion. What do you do now because you don't want to fight each other?
I mean, I get it. I'm not really into fighting my friends.
Yeah.
Either. I'm not really into fighting my friends either, honestly. But I mean, I guess if you had to, a person like me, I couldn't do 205. I would probably be able to make 205. I'm not interested in it at all. At all, you feel me? So, if we both wanted to be champions, then yeah, we could fight each other if we had to between us, and we the two best. Why not? You feel me? So, But it would have to be like under those circumstances. They couldn't be like other fights you can make and then you're trying to make us fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be like, okay,
like
he's the champion. My brother's a champion, and I'm like just the only person that might be able to give him a good fight. Then yeah, I guess we fight. I don't know how the hell that shit would work out. Not a damn clue. Honestly, I don't know how that would work out, but because I couldn't imagine having to fight somebody that I train with every single day to go fight them in a cage like they're my enemy. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine how you get into that kind of mindset
to be like I have to sit there and like show hate to this person that I have a lot of love for.
Yeah, not even somebody that you've trained with in the past.
Yeah, or
like somebody that you train with and then you don't train with them anymore. You haven't trained with them in a year. You got to know about it. Yeah, you haven't trained in like a year or 2 years or whatever like that. That's different. That's still so different than like you actively training and having a good relationship with somebody at XYZ. It's not like playing a fucking basketball game, man. Like you feel me? Like that shit is serious. So I don't know. I mean, luckily I don't got to worry about that. It was a question that I had when I was first initially looking for gyms, and I was wondering like how many heavyweights they had. There's a thin line between like you need training partners and then also like just it being competition as well too. But
yeah, so like you had DC and Kane, and DC was number one contender, so he stepped down, not stepped down, but he moved down to light heavyweight, and then because he didn't want to fight his friend Kane. And then on the other side, you have people like Cowboy Cerrone and Melvin Guillard. They train together every day. They're training partners, best friends. I think Melvin Guillard said at one point Cowboy had him living with him because he was having issues at home or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so we'd go to the gym together, we'd fight each other all day, and then we'd go home. But then they ended up fighting, and Melvin dropped Cowboy, and they got up, and then Cowboy dropped Melvin and finished it. And they're as good as they ever were from before the fight to after.
Bro, you see the two different kinds of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's two different. That's two different things. Like a Cowboy and Melvin Guillard, is much different than the DC and the Cain Velasquez too. And then from my understanding, obviously I don't know these dudes, but Cain and DC seem to be like, they seem to be very close. I mean, I don't know. I just wouldn't see no glory in like. Even if it was like, I mean, hypothetically speaking, whatever case would be like that, whatever. If I did have to fight somebody that was very, very close to me, that we train with every single day, and we make each other better, and we had to fight, and they were the champion, and I'm fighting them for their belt, I wouldn't find there would be no glory in that for me taking the belt from my man. I just like to see people around me shining too. So I would just want something different. I don't really want what's his. I want somebody else shit. What somebody else shit.
Yeah. It's always like a touchy question because I know their teammates. I'm not trying to like put a divide or cause any drama. It's just I feel like that's a pretty legitimate concern, especially a lot of these Houston gyms, bantamweights and flyweights. It's a lot of bantamweights and flyweights in Houston, and a lot of them are at the same gyms. And it's like, eventually it's going to happen if you want to be the best.
They are, but it's like this, right? Obviously, I fight for Fury, so like, I mean, it's not a big deal, right? But like, everybody's overall goal in the end, and everybody at Fury knows it as well too, is to use it as a stage so that they can get to the UFC. Yeah. So as far as it goes now, like, I mean, I wouldn't care if my man's was the champion and I was just not, I wouldn't have to fight him for a Fury belt. Yeah, no, that's not really like a big deal to me. Like, I mean, I would like to be the Fury champion or whatever be like that, but I wouldn't have to fight him for like the Fury belt. That's not my end or be all. I could still fight the other guys, knock the shit out of them, knock them around, and then still get to my next goal and do what I wanted to do there. And if we have to meet there, then so be it. That's a whole nother thing. But I'm not gonna knock my homie around for a Fury belt.
That makes sense, yeah. That's what even Hayden was like, man, straight up, like, unless they give me like a couple million or for a title, I'm not gonna fight my teammate.
Like, for what? There's a lot of other circumstances that you can just have, that you can have going into that. And it's like, I mean, like, yeah, you want to be the champion of a Fury or any other organization, like that middle level organization, but we know what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal isn't to be a champion of XYZ forever. The goal is to move on up, make some more money so you could take care of your situation and your family.
And when I ask people that, I usually am referencing the UFC. Like, if the end goal is to be the best of the best, then you're already there. They're both already there. like what's the case. But
yeah,
like
no,
I said,
I mean, we scrapped it, but luckily I don't got that.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, right? I don't gotta worry about that.
What,
I'm gonna worry about it.
fucking, dude, do you ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah,
Dude, man,
Pretty
like
much.
we're obsessed over that fucking show, dude. What's it called? What, did you watch the Jan Blachowicz fight when he fought Magomed Ankalaev?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't watch it. Why didn't I watch that fight? What fight happened before that?
Paddy Pimblett
Jared
fight.
Gordon.
What happened before that?
Oh,
Oh wait, you mean before that in card wise or the
Yeah.
fights?
was
That was UFC 282, so it was whatever free card was.
it was
before
the
282.
week before that was the Kevin Holland fight.
Okay, Kevin Holland and Stephen Thompson.
Nah.
No, I know it's way left field to ask you about that. I just saw the Jan Blachowicz on TV, so I figured I'd ask what your thoughts were on that if you were able to catch it.
On that fight?
Yeah.
If you go back and watch it, let us know. I feel like that is as down the middle as you could possibly have in a fight, because the first 2.5 rounds, Jan was obviously winning, and then in the middle point of the second or the third round and on, Magomed was winning.
I don't know, man. All I know is what I've heard about the fight.
Yeah.
Which obviously I can't take at face value because people don't know what the fuck they're talking about most of the time. So.
What were people saying? 'Cause I've heard both.
Really just bad judging. They were saying a lot of bad judging
okay,
stuff and XYZ. But then, like, I heard Jan out of his own mouth say that, you know,
Magomed
that
won.
Magomed have won. So I was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
but I didn't watch it, so I don't have an opinion about it.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, with that judging though, I remember. I think y'all talked a little bit about like on that because Doug Crosby's like name's getting brought up like right now because he had to deal with the Rafion Stouts fight the night before.
Oh yeah.
In like less than 24 hours, he's judging the Paddy Pimblett fight, which like you can't do and shit. So like, do you feel like there needs to be some type of judging reform to change what's going on with the sport?
I mean, man, look, I know nothing of judging.
Right.
I keep it a bug with you. I don't even like, y'all know me, no judges. but I mean, yeah, there needs to be some sort of like them being held accountable for the inconsistency in what's going on, because I mean, the reality of it is a lot of fights go to decisions. You need to be able to do the job, and you need to have a consistent kind of scale for how things are going. You know, like a foul is a foul or it's not. And there really isn't. These people are like you're pretty much able to just like disguise your bias in any damn thing as a judge.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I hate when people say don't let it go to the hands of the judges. And it's like, nah, because sometimes that happens, and fighters shouldn't have to be worried about someone else doing their job. They should be worried about doing their own job. And if they went in there and did their job, and it still goes to the judges, then the judges have to do their job. And if you say, well, you shouldn't let it go to the hands of the judges, then you're taking that accountability away from the judges. The judges no longer have to be held responsible for doing their job.
That's a good point.
Because you shouldn't let it go to the hands of the judges. Like,
Like,
yes, you obviously want to finish, but it's not always that easy.
It's a thin line, man, because between us as fighters, right? Like spectators, I guess, can have like that kind of view about it. But as a fighter, man, you just gotta expect it. Like, you're gonna deal with it. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna deal with, you know, weird judging, weird judges, biased judging. Like, it just is what it is. So us complaining about it doesn't necessarily better our situation in any way. It's just more excuses. Like, the less excuses I can have when I'm in fight camp, the better. I just focused on what I can control. I can't control what a judge is going to do or what a judge feels about me personally or feels about a team personally or whatever the case may be like that. I just try to take care of my business. Like, yeah. So I mean, like, it does suck because it's a double-edged sword. Like, we are taking accountability away from the judges, right? Because we need to be able to control what we can control. As it stands right now, there's nothing that's going to happen with judging in the state of judging. They're not even like it doesn't even appear to be a conversation that's being had at any level. So
I think our last 3 episodes have been about judging.
Yeah, it's been bad. I mean,
like,
but there's
it's a problem. It really is.
What developments?
What we think is a different scoring system, like instead of the 10-point scoring system like boxing, do something different, because it doesn't work as well. Because if you're trying to go for like watch for things like damage or control or numbers of strikes, like you look at what fight was it? I'll just use the Chito Vera fight because that one's real easy. Cheeto Vera had more damage. Rob Font had way more numbers. Who wins the fight? Cheeto Vera won the fight because he was more efficient with the strikes that he did land. But it's like, okay, well, what about numbers? And like he won going by damage. And then I think like I don't know. It's too hard, I think, to determine that a winner won from damage or that a winner won from number of strikes. I feel like those two things aren't enough.
Man, I'm not sure what that would consist of, but there just needs to be some sort of. This is how we're scoring the fight, because then the gyms would then, you know, in turn, we would prepare for certain kinds of judging situations, right? We would prepare for, okay, this is how they judge. This is how they judge an MMA fight. They want you to have a bunch of fucking takedowns. Then we're gonna make sure that we can, you know, get a bunch of fucking takedowns if that's what the fuck we need. If we have a decision fighter, because some people are just decision fighters. You just know that's what it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's what your game plan is going to consist of. Things that would gain you favor, I guess, in the eyes of the judges or whatever the case may be. Unless you're a certain kind of fighter, then there's nothing you can fucking do anyway. You're gonna fight the fight that you can fight. There just needs to be some sort of consistency for how it's judged. You can't have a judge be like, yeah, I like you said with the Sabatello and Stotts fight, and then go judge a fight the exact opposite way. Like you can't say, yeah, I like a motherfucker that can defend a takedown today. And the next day it's like, yeah, defend a takedown's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough for me tonight.
And that's what's hard, man, because like different states have different rules, like have different criterias, and so there's nothing. So I mean, like I've told him before, is like we talked about it. It's just there needs to be a unified rules for the whole country if that's how it's going to be. You know, some type of unified rules to where it's like we have criteria, we have judging criteria as well. But even then, I don't feel like the 10-point system. Like that's a boxing thing, you know. I mean, there's too many things that go on in an MMA fight to be like, hey, we're gonna base that off of a 10-point system.
Man, it's weird. It's weird, bro. Even I just went to when I went to Washington to go fight, bro. There's like no sanctioned body out there, bro. So everything was just kind of just. Everything was just like made up, bro. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Y'all just discussing amongst each other, like, you okay with knees to the head? You okay with this?
Literally,
like,
bro. And I'm just sitting there.
Shit.
I'm sitting there, I have a big ass jacket on because it was cold. I thought it was gonna be colder than it was. It was fucking freezing. But I'm sitting there like my big ass coat looks like Sabretooth.
Posted up with a fucking parka.
I'm like letting them all talk. I'm like, these rules don't make any sense. This guy's describing what you can and what you can't do, and when asked for a clarification on it, he doesn't even know what one of the words are. Like. It's fucking crazy. Bro.
It sounds like a fucking smoker, man.
It sounds like a smoker, but they had some fucking scrappers there, bro.
No shit,
bro. Fucking crazy ass knockouts, man. Like, or is this one chick? This is one chick, man, and it was her first fight, and she knocked this other chick out, fucking cold. Like, she knocked her out like hard. Like that was a hard ass knockout. Other dude got slapped with a leg. He got slapped with like a leg kick that came out of nowhere and knocked his ass. He just dropped right in place. Another dude got kicked in the head. Big, yeah, man, it was good. I met some cool people out there. Like honestly, like it was chill, bro. I got in the ring, they were booing the shit out of me. You know, by the time we left, everybody was chill. You feel me? Like I'm a chill dude. Like I said, I don't have no hate towards homie, whatever anything like that. Obviously, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna try to hurt you.
Yeah,
so you're gonna try to hurt me, but that's just out of respect for what we do. We warriors.
So, how do you feel about open scoring if they were to open score your fights?
What's that?
Like open scoring would be like, you know, at the end of the first round, they would put the judges' scorecards up. So you would know.
Everybody can see.
Oh, okay. Like a fucking dunk contest or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
that way you already know who won that round.
I mean, that'd be cool, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know.
At the end of the day, you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with her and fucking do what I
want to
do.
win every round I want to win every second of every minute of every round of every fight. If I could do that, I could do that. I actually asked Adam 2 days ago, we were training. I was like, have I lost a round? He's like, yeah, I lost a round. I was like, fuck. You got into a whole thing about it. I was like, lose a fucking round. I didn't lose a round. But, hey, maybe, man. But I mean, you know, like I said, I'm trying to take it out of their hands, bro. I mean, I think I can.
Yeah.
I think I can.
I think you've shown you can.
I actually wouldn't mind if every fight that I fought in is either me getting knocked out or the other guy getting knocked out.
Oh, damn.
I switch that around. The other guy getting knocked out or me getting knocked out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, or it's finished or submitted or whatever the fuck the case may be.
Right.
I wouldn't mind that. Like either I definitively win it or you definitively win it. I don't want there to be no question about it.
Gracie style, dude.
That guy that fought Cameron Smotherman recently, that's That's his mindset.
With the hair,
with the red hair. Yeah,
bro, you came out smoking, bro.
Yeah, that's his mindset. He's pretty open about it. I think Morono and them were talking about it. They're like, yeah, he doesn't want it to go to the judges. He doesn't care if he gets finished. He wants it to be a finish, whether it's him or the other guy. Obviously, he's pushing it for it to be the other guy. But yeah, and I mean, it's pretty cool. It's very commendable. I just think that there's some people that will fall on the wrong side of that more often than not.
Yeah.
I don't think you're one of those people.
I mean, it's possible.
There are some of those people.
It's possible. I guess.
Wow, Astrid.
Check her out. She got the movement. What's the name? No, wait for him to come back. You're good, man. What's the name? I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's two things that come out of that, though, right? You'll never have a boring fight. And you can still set up a whole shitload of kill shots and, you know, opportunities to finish a fight and still be mindful of what you're doing and not put yourself in danger.
Yeah.
But at least that's what I believe. You can just make shit happen. Obviously, I haven't gone against, like, super dangerous people yet. So, I mean, I couldn't be talking on my ass, but
right.
Until I get there, I'm not being ignorant of it, you know, of what I don't know. But even at the higher level, the fights don't really go all the way like that for the most part. It's usually heavyweights are knocking the shit out of each other, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to be the sheep.
I think that's one of the benefits of you being a heavyweight is you have obviously you're a natural heavyweight, you're a natural athlete. We say that probably too much, but you have a good mindset for it. So you're not going out there and just kind of like swinging like real sloppy. You have good technique. You have good striking. You have a good base with everything. You're good with your fundamentals and you're always trying to get better. And I feel like that alone already starts to set you ahead of a lot of the heavyweights that are out there. Because I feel like a lot of the case with a lot of heavyweights is they're big and they hit hard.
Man, oddly enough, sometimes that's just enough. Like, it's not enough for me.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what sets you apart from them is because it's enough for them to keep winning their fights. But eventually they're going to come across someone like you who's a complete fighter, or in terms of they can be well-rounded and they're a bit more natural for that weight class. And I feel like that's the people that they're going to lose to.
You want to know why I still kind of can't fault them for that? Because, like, I mean, one, it's not that often that they're going to come across somebody like me, and even in that certain kind of situation, there's still a hell of a lot of situations in which they can make it a fairly even fight for themselves.
Oh yeah, because it only takes one punch.
It takes one,
and that's what they're banking on. So they're going to go fight like that's what they're banking on,
like one punch,
and it works.
And a lot of those dudes are probably lost before, so it's like, I mean, the agony of the agony of no defeat. Yeah, it's like, it's weird, but man, I've had somebody tell me that recently that, like, you know, like, you don't have to lose. Like, I don't have to lose, and I've never been told that, like, as direct as that. Like, you just don't have to lose. You know, people lose. They'll be like, you know, everybody loses X, Y, Z, something like that. But a couple people, like, within that same little time frame, it was always like, yeah, you don't have to lose. And I was like, no, that's good. That's good to know. Like, it's good to hear that, because actually I don't have to lose. And since I've heard that, I've been just, you know, pondering on that and developing a whole different kind of confidence based off of that. Because it's to an extent, it's kind of like the agony of, like, okay, oh man, I'll probably lose one day. Is it going to be now? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be now? But I don't know. I guess some like, hearing that did something to me. It was like, you don't have to lose. Now I really, like, I guess I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it more now. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna lose. I don't feel like I'm gonna lose. I don't feel like I have to lose. And I feel like, you know, as long as I do what I need to do, I'll have a good chance of keeping that going. But we'll see. Actually, it's a whole nother ball game now. It's a whole other ball game now in the pro circuit, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just going out there and doing it. Like, there's not much to say, not much to talk about. I don't like to talk a whole bunch of mess and start a whole bunch of mess. I like to go out there and just try to take somebody's head off.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
I know everybody else appreciates that.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys appreciate it, man. I appreciate everybody that does, support me. People I don't know that just contact me. Sometimes I get to their messages really late in my other little folder on Instagram. But man, people support me a lot, and people from even other countries, bro. I'll be like people know who I am. I'm like, okay, that's pretty dope. You feel me? But man, I'm still working. I still feel like I haven't done a damn thing, bro. Like I'm still so
just dropping a bucket.
Unsatisfied, bro. Unsatisfied. Like I really feel like I'm about to just be done with the tutorial now. Like the game, bro. I'm really about to start the game now. You know,
the first level.
Yeah, bro. Like they were showing me how to do things. I was like learning how to play the game still, but now the game starts.
And that's how Floyd Mayweather. I think I said this last time you were on here too.
What?
That's how Floyd Mayweather traded amateur fights for boxing. He had 100 and some amateur boxing fights, and he was like, I didn't mind losing in the amateurs because I knew that it was going to prepare me for never losing in the pros, because everything that I learned in the amateurs is why I don't lose now.
How many fights did he lose as amateur?
I'll look it up, but it wasn't a whole lot, but he actually lost in the amateurs, and that kind of threw me off, because my biggest thing with Floyd was he doesn't even know what it's like to lose, but he has lost, and that's why he doesn't lose anymore. And he was like, because that's the time you take to learn. I think that's kind of where I got that mindset whenever I'm talking to fighters or whoever. I'm just saying, when you lose a fight early in your career, or with, like you were saying, with the kind of middle level organizations, that's the time to lose. Because when you're on a bigger platform, or with the UFC, how we're talking about, that's kind of the end goal. When you're at your end goal and you're so much closer, you don't want to lose then. And
yeah,
it's still going to be a learning lesson if it happens, but it's not the place where you want it to happen. So if it all happens before that and you learn what you need to learn from then, you don't ever have to lose again.
Man, you don't fucking gotta lose at all. You can learn.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from the things from winning. Obviously, I'll lose a lot in life and X, Y, Z.
He was 84-6. That's what it is. He's 90 fights.
Okay. Yeah. What's the name? Man, you can learn from the things, because even when you win, it's not done flawlessly, right?
Yeah.
So you can still there's still so much that you can learn from and pull from a lot of dangerous situations that I put myself in that seem like unnecessary spaces for me to be in. I've learned to not get into those kind of dangerous situations in my future endeavors and X, Y, Z. Like this, man, you can learn from anything, man. Knowledge is power. So luckily I've learned how to learn. I'm really good at learning and adapting to new knowledge, bits of information and techniques, skills, information, just anything. I'm just pretty good with that. Thankfully, so it works out.
I worked with this one coach. He was a jiu-jitsu guy, and he would always say being malleable is being valuable. And I always thought that was kind of cool, because he would say if you come in here every day willing to learn, and this the way Devin will phrase it is the white belt mentality. Always come in, because you'll always have so much to learn. But he would always say, if you come in here every day willing to learn, then I'll come in here every day willing to teach you. But the first day that you come in here thinking you already know something, no matter how many times you practice it, then you're done learning, and I don't know what else I could do for you.
It's hard, bro. I mean, but that's for sure, bro. I mean, even you can have a really great jab. I mean, you can have a really great 1-2, bro. But somebody else might throw that 1-2 a little bit different, and you can pick something up from the way that they throw their 1-2 that might just make yours a little bit much more deadly, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot that goes into that. So I mean, I always try to be coachable. It's something I've been pretty good at since playing sports, since being young and everything like that. I'm pretty coachable, receptive to new knowledge, and easy, quick to apply it as well too. I do a lot of mental reps.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. That goes on.
He was the guy that taught me, or kind of explained how, with techniques like arm bars, you do it a certain way. Mm-hmm. And he was like, but everybody does it their own way too. There's the right way to do the arm bar, and then there's your way to do the arm bar. And if your way works for you, then that's your right way to do the arm bar. And I always thought that was cool, because it was that makes sense to me. I feel like there's too many different situations in a fight where everything is just too weird or too like awkward. Like you look at Hayden's last fight, all those awkward positions he was put in, or illegal positions. But that part, it's like, what do you do in that? You got to work, you got to do something. So you never know where it's gonna go, and I feel like knowing not just the right way, but your way of handling that is always really good.
Yeah, that's for sure, bro. But that's all fighting is, though. They kind of show you the ropes. They show you the little, like, the outline for it, and then you kind of make it into your own. Because if not, everybody there would be really no better fighters than anyone else, you know. Like, but the styles, man, these styles, bro. Look at Jose Aldo, bro.
Yeah. Also, look at Aldo. The way he does things is the way he does things. And
like kick like that motherfucker, bro.
What do you think? This might be a little weird or out of nowhere. What do you think about Marvin Vettori?
What about him?
What do you think about him? You think he's good?
Yeah, I don't think he's bad. I've actually brought his name a few times. Why? The Alex Pereira debate, right? I was like, you know, I think who I think could be Alex Pereira. I think that Paulo Costa would have a good chance, and possibly Vettori if he had a better route.
What's up?
Route?
No, we're good.
We got Jurassic with the spaceman.
I feel like the fucking Michelin Man in this
shit
right Yeah, man. Fuck. It's supposed to be cold as fuck tonight, man, so I'm prepared for that shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it is. I actually do gotta go wrap my pipes and shit.
They fucking they sent out an email at my job. They're like, hey, we only need one person to come in tomorrow night. And then they're like, cause my foreman was like, who lives the closest? And they both looked at me because I work with 3 guys. They all looked at me, and I was like, I do. He's like, I'll see you tomorrow at 5. I was like, fuck, man. Okay.
Fucking what, bro? Everybody's with the day off.
Yeah, we're talking about Marvin Vettori. I was asking what he thinks of him because I
think that if he could pick up and strike him a little bit better.
So that's what I was gonna get at, because our thing with Marvin Vettori is he's not like exceptional at anything. He's just really good fundamentally all over.
He's a big dude.
And he's a big, thick dude. He's strong, but he's been in Thailand working his Muay Thai, and apparently he's gotten like real good. So I'm hoping he comes back. I don't know if he'll be able to hang with Alex Pereira or anything like that, but
bro, you can know how to throw some shit. You can know how to throw all the punches and kicks with the best technique in the world, son. But it's something different in a fight. You got to know when. And you gotta have experiences, bro. Like the experiences that Alex Pereira has is what puts him on a different level than what Marvin Vettori would be able to just jump to from fucking training and sparring in Thailand. It's just not.
Even in boxing, man. Like I noticed that with like in the third fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's been training this shit since he was a kid. Like Deontay Wilder is just a special person. Like he really is. Like what he's like. He started training boxing when he was like 19. And then you see what the level he's at now, but he went into that third fight and he just he looked more technically sound. But the second Tyson Fury was able to start striking back, it just kind of went out the window. And it's like it just happens with the experience, just like you said.
I'd like to see Marvin come back and have some good striking.
I mean, bro, how often do you see that jump happen though? Like in one specific skill area, how often do you see a person just be in MMA specifically too? Like not like boxing where all you work on.
Unless it's a wrestler who figures out how to punch, because a lot of times that happens. A wrestler figures out how to punch, and then they're just knocking everybody out until they fight a legitimate striker.
Like the only person that was good at that I could say that, like who was actually good at making that jump was TJ Dillashaw. Like like his striking had looked better leading up to that first title fight with Henry Barao, but the second he got in that fight with Henry Barao, I was like, you wouldn't have guessed he was you wouldn't have guessed he was a wrestler at all.
Bro, I used to like watching him fight.
Dude, I used to get so mad at watching him fight because he was so fucking good.
Everybody.
He was so fucking good, man.
When he was hot, bro.
Yeah.
Him and RDA, when they were just blowing through everybody, and I was just like, why don't y'all lose, man?
Dude, I would get so mad, man.
It's crazy how that happens, bro. Then you lose, and then you just... And shit just really goes to shit. I just don't know how the fuck that shit happens, bro. It's really fucking crazy.
Yeah. Especially with Henry Barao, because what does he do now?
He still fights.
But where? Like, no, people don't know that.
Yeah,
Does he?
he does still fight.
Bellator?
Yeah, he's fighting for like some regional circuit.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I don't have my phone on me to look it up,
I
but
saw his
I'll
name
find
somewhere
it.
recently.
he fought fucking I forgot what show he was on, but like Marcus Davis was on that card. Do you know who Marcus Davis is?
Dude.
No, he was a
Talk
Irish boxer back in the day that was fought in the UFC, and he fucking he was good. He was
That's my
always
people right there. So I get excited when they bring up Marcus Davis.
yeah.
Dude went on a 13 fight win streak. I think 6 or 7 of those fights. 6 of the fights were outside of the UFC, and then 7 fights were in the UFC.
Yeah.
And he never got a title shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
how,
like
you
Tony-
went on a 7-fight
like
win
Tony
streak,
Ferguson.
Yeah.
beating everybody. Yeah.
They robbed Tony.
Well, Tony had title shots. He just didn't make it to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Or Khabib didn't. Whatever time he
that
picked.
fight with Justin Gaethje, man, that's what messed everything up because you just and so that's why it was hard because I mean he became interim champ, but then I mean I don't even know, man.
Hennenbrau's last fight on Wikipedia anyway is with UFC back in
Oh, it's not posted on there.
2019.
Nah, he's fought after that.
He fought for like some place called MFC or some shit like that. But
Sure, dog.
yeah, like I don't know, he had a huge fall from grace. It's like watching Cody Garbrandt now.
But
you know,
yeah.
like I enjoy watching Cody Garbrandt, but he just-
yeah,
yeah.
Cody Garbrandt, huh?
yeah, like I mean that dude is just like I don't know, man. Like after just fucking all that shit, like it just he got knocked out twice against what sucks against a guy who's openly cheating, well, not openly cheating, but got caught cheating, you know. So his career was never the same after that shit. But yeah, like he just was never the same after that shit, man. It's like that must suck, dude. Like you get derailed by a guy who's on steroids, on performance enhancing drugs and shit. Dude's on fucking steroids, it knocks you out twice in the matter of a year, and you're not the same after that shit. But
I'll fight a motherfucker on steroids.
shit, man, you might that might end up happening
Fight
because
somebody on steroids?
yeah,
Heavyweight division.
Bro, what I'm gonna do? Complain about
Notorious.
it?
Pretty big.
If it's legal, then I guess I just gotta fight the guy on steroids.
Yeah.
Right?
The freaking ADCC, Gordon Ryan just finally came out and said, "Yeah, I do steroids. Everybody does steroids. It's okay."
he really did.
Yeah, he finally said it.
Well, we didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well, it's legal. He said it's legal. Everybody does it, and with the ADCC and their grappling tournaments, all of the people in the finals are on steroids,
yeah.
and then all the guys who are doing it naturally lose, and it freaking sucks.
That's
Yeah.
how it was with. That's how it was in that the Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
Same thing,
Yeah.
bro. They said
They
they
said
was on steroids, bro.
they
Everybody in
said-
the top 15 was on steroids.
I remember that shit happened. They said the last fucking they were supposed to go back to the person who was actually clean. Like the 19th place would be actually
Yeah.
the first place and shit. I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You gotta do steroids to get ahead in life.
If you're not if you're not if so what I'm trying to say, fuck. So if you're not like in any type of like sport or combat sport or anything like that, like do you think steroids is a bad thing?
No, I'm not doing steroids. Bro.
No, not you. I'm just saying in general, like just like the idea of steroids for people that are like just like looking to get big or some shit,
For
or like
what
they're
though?
working out.
How bad do you need to be big? How bad
Yeah.
do you need to be big?
Yeah.
Come on, like, bro, I don't even like taking Tylenol. Put some fucking needles in my body and shit. It's fucking crazy. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. I don't see the need for it.
Yeah,
It's basically, I guess, like the equivalent to BBL these days.
yeah, that's a damn
If
good
you,
way
need,
to put that.
if you need the boost of confidence, go ahead, my fine sir. I would not be partaking in all that stuff. Bro.
Yeah, like there's a dude. His name's Kenny KO. Like he's trying to kind of normalize the idea of people taking steroids to just go to the gym and shit. You know?
That's
not even
that's what you
healthy.
want to do, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, bro.
I
I
just-
just don't see. There's no gain to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no gain to it. It's not healthy. It's bad for your heart. I don't understand why people would want to do it. Like, oh, well, I'm not cheating because I'm not competing in anything. It's like, then why did you have to do it?
Yeah.
So I can feel better about myself.
Like yeah, that's what it's I don't know, like because if you fuck up off your off cycle, as far as I know, like if you have your on cycle, you're taking like Trin or Anavar or some shit,
What
and
is that?
and
Sound like
so-
estrogen.
and so it's
It sound like- it sound
well, that's
like
when
this shit.
that's when the estrogen blockers come in, like Clomiphene. But like if you fuck up on your off cycle, like it's pretty much
get the big
it's
fat
terrible.
titties, right?
Like yeah,
So they
you
get
start
the
getting
big
gyno
titties?
and shit, bro. They got A cups,
Weird.
and so they're
Your steroids, you're weird. Don't attack me. Sorry. It's just a little weird. Just a little weird. That's all.
I don't
I
know. You,
want to be functional more than I want to be just.
fucking, you ever seen that Dewey Cox movie? Was that the name of it? Walk Hard. Yeah, when he walks into a bathroom and they're all doing drugs, he's like, "You don't want none of this shit, Dewey." he's like, well, do, and he's like, oh, he's like, it makes like he's doing cocaine in the bathroom and shit. And so I just imagine like walking in the bathroom, someone's like shooting a needle in their ass. You don't want none of this shit. Make you stronger, bigger, faster, everything you need.
Bro, like, everything I know about steroids, I learned from South Park. So
yeah,
South Park. It's crazy how South Park can really teach you about some stuff.
Educate you, right?
It sounds stupid, and I'm kind of joking, but I'm also kind of not. Like I think they'll get you a decent understanding of what went on, and then you can go look into it yourself.
Exactly, you at least gain insight.
Yeah,
and you can go learn the real thing that took place. But hey, there's a lot of weird shit going on.
Their episodes about Mormons, and that one. I thought it was really funny, and then because I used to work with this girl who was Mormon, and I started asking her questions because I always ask people questions about their backgrounds or cultures or religions because I find that stuff interesting. And so I just kind of put everything together that she told me and compared it to the episode, and I was like, it's really not that different.
Really not that different.
And so I was like, hey, would you watch this episode for me and tell me how far off they are? She goes, absolutely not.
You wouldn't watch it?
No. What's that one movie that they made?
The Book of Mormon?
Not the Book of Mormon, not
the
the play.
The basketball?
Movie. Not basketball. They have another one, and the dude's a fucking Mormon, and he's like trying to save up money for his wife's wedding and shit. So he starts like directing porn.
I don't know.
Fuck, man, I don't remember the name of it. It's a stupid ass plot, but it's funny though. But even the Book of Mormon's kind of spot on. So like,
yeah, and it's funny, but like, Trey Parker and Matt Stone were anthropologists before becoming like writers for TV and stuff.
Funny.
So they went to college with the mindset that they wanted to learn about people and how their minds work and why they do what they do and study communities. They do a really good job of that, and then it shows in South Park. And I know like it sounds stupid and they make dumb jokes, but like when they make fun of society and the American people, and then the American people do exactly what they said they would do in that episode, maybe in not such a stupid way, but is it really?
No, it's
just stupid in a different way.
It's usually just as stupid, bro.
Or like the people in San
the
people in San Francisco, like when they fart, they fucking smell their fart.
Drop electric cars, bro.
The election between the douche and the turd sandwich.
Oh my god!
Like they do a really good job of it.
Or when Cartman, what the fuck was I cracking up at? And he tells him, he's like, "You're a Jew, you're ginger, and you're from Jersey." He's like, "You're the three bad signs." He's like, I mean, he's got a point. You are from. He's like, and Stan tells Kyle's like, "Did you know that your mom was from Jersey?"
Oh yeah, I remember that. That shit was funny, bro. He slicked his hair back and shit.
Yes.
Love cabbage.
Fucking dude, man.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and close this one out. But is there anything else you got going on other than again your pro debut with Fury on February 5th?
Oh no, man, nothing else right now at the time. I'm just gonna go ahead and focus on that. MMA is really where I'm about to dedicate all of my energy to. Just excelling at that, fighting some people, knocking some people out, and getting my name out there. Really, just building my story. So. Cool. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Ready to take care of business. That's all, man.
We love having you on, and it'll be cool to, because we fully believe that you're going to be, and I assume you do too, that you're going to be at the top of the world at some point. It's going to happen, and it'll be cool to look back on these and kind of compare, have like a cool little roadmap of where your mind was at throughout the whole thing.
I like the way that you guys do this, so that's why I was happy to come.
I plan to be 45 with a fucking cue ball and a cigar in my mouth. I told y'all motherfuckers he was gonna do something.
Yeah.
45, bro.
We'll catch y'all next time.